On the 16th of August 1985, her 27th birthday, Madonna and Sean Penn said "I do" at a Californian cliffside mansion. As news crews scrambled to get footage of the couple, what was supposed to be the happiest day of their lives turned into a media circus.
There was way too much attention paid from the beginning. How many people have to put up with helicopters circling their weddings?
Just the sheer chaos was sort of like this kind of, predictor of what the rest of their marriage was going to be like.
Suddenly I realized that my life was never going to be the same.
Madonna managed to keep her sense of humor.
Sean and I took out this full-page ad in the LA Times.
She even spoofed her wedding when she hosted American sitcom Saturday Night Live 3 months later. Madonna met the big screen idol on the set of her Material Girl video, and their very public displays of affection quickly became front-page news. For the first time in Madonna's career, her name was popping up in gossip columns as often as it did in the charts.
That's what happens when you're in love with somebody. You give up a certain part of yourself. You have to become selfless in a way. And that's the trade-off.
Everywhere the newlyweds went, cameras followed, and Sean's explosive temper was ready to detonate.
That was probably like one of her tougher times, but she never let on that it was. And the fact that she was able to maintain control and not snap in front of the press and never really lose it.
The media attention eventually proved too much. Almost 4 years later, the couple called it a day.
I think it's very hard for every Hollywood marriage to survive. I really do. It's hard enough when one person is famous, but two people and the demands and the media scrutiny, and I think it's nearly impossible for it to work when both people are famous.
TV viewers got one more look at the couple when Sean surprised his ex with the Most Fashionable Artist Award at the 1995 VH1 Fashion Awards.
They've both said in the time since that they have good and positive feelings about each other, and, this was a chance for them to show it to the whole world.
That was really dirty.
It was a Hollywood romance that fell to pieces in a media frenzy, and TV audiences watched it all happen.
I think that the public will always be interested in the two of them as a couple and what it was like for them on the inside.
I remember.
On the 2nd of March 1989, viewers in 40 countries watched Pepsi debut Madonna's new single, Like a Prayer. Just 2 days after Madonna's commercial debut, Pepsi pulled the ad because of this. The Like a Prayer video had premiered the following day on MTV. With burning crosses, bleeding palms, and interracial passion. The video was too much for the wholesome conservative corporation.
It dealt with a lot of taboos, and it made people afraid. And I think the people who reacted negatively to it were afraid of their own feelings that they have about those.
Even though Pepsi's ad was wholesome, they still took heat for their links with Madonna and her controversial video.
Just took these images of burning crosses and me coming down and kissing Madonna on the altar and all these things, like, oh my God, what are they doing with our religion?
Well, I think they were really afraid that this whole thing was going to, blow up, and they didn't want to do anything to harm Pepsi, which is a sort of all-American symbol.
The intertwining of religious iconery and sexual fantasies infuriated the Catholic Church, which was probably the whole point.
I think she likes to be controversial, and I think she likes to push buttons, and I think that she likes to get an unexpected reaction.
Pepsi never showed the ad again in America, but Madonna kept the $5 million they paid her. Like a Prayer became her 7th #1 single and won the Viewer's Choice category at the 1989 MTV Video Music Awards. The award coincidentally sponsored by Pepsi.
Means you like me. You really like me. And I'd like to thank Pepsi for causing so much controversy. Truth is where you find it. Get up and vote.
Madonna was in the headlines again in 1990, this time for a controversial promotion she filmed for MTV's Rock the Vote.
excuse me, but I'm singing in one key and you're singing in another.
MTV's campaign to get young Americans back into the voting booth enlisted a star-studded lineup. But it was Madonna's promotional spot that caused the biggest commotion. Draped in an American flag and little else, Madonna raised eyebrows, playing on her dance hit Vogue, while mixing patriotism with pleasure.
Freedom of speech is as good as sex. Abe, Lincoln, Jefferson, Tom, they didn't need the atomic bomb.
This was deemed to be wrong, mostly by people who wished that they were the flag.
She's had these two guys in cut-off shorts waving American flags behind her. It wasn't exactly a wholesome all-American picture.
Don't just sit there, let's get to it. Speak your mind, there's nothing to it. Boom!
Madonna's stars and striped striptease didn't sit well with TV viewers, particularly some Army veterans who thought it bordered on desecration.
People are so used to getting worked up over her that whether she's right or wrong, they're going to get themselves worked up.
It turned out she was right, at least in principle. The next American presidential election recorded the highest turnout amongst 18 to 24-year-olds in 20 years.
And if you don't vote, you're going to get a spanky. Cut.